Man, exciting times in Call of the Wild right now. Expansive Worlds continues to put out hints that really make it hard to imagine anything outside of Australia. If you haven't seen it, on the Expansive World social media, they posted this image with upside down text that said, searching for the next hunting destination. So it certainly appears as if we are headed to Australia in potentially about a month. Generally speaking, end of June is when EW releases their maps. That could be really cool. And just looking at this, I think Mel said it in her video, so I shared her video on the community tab earlier today. If you haven't checked out that, would definitely recommend giving it a look. This, to me, as Mel said as well, looks a lot like Piccabean Bay in the Hunter Classic, specifically like around the coast. So I think that could be really cool. We'll see where things go from here, but I can't wait for tomorrow's live stream. Because to me, I can't imagine how they don't reveal more things based on that. So I'm excited to see what you guys have to say. If you guys have seen the image, if you guys have been thinking up potential species and all that good stuff. And in the meantime, we're going to run around Revontuli Coast because holy, could we have a lot to do when the new map comes out and we're still missing diamonds. So we got to try to make it happen today. Jim the Jam, thank you so much for becoming a Shusty, by the way. Certainly appreciate that. If you are not in the Discord, be sure to join that. Link up your YouTube, get the member role, get all that good stuff, and enjoy the emojis here on YouTube. And the green name as well. Terrible Monday just got better. Nice, man. Glad to hear it. By the way, if you're coming from Discord, I don't know what is going on. Like, I was clicking the actual at everyone, and it continued to tag someone else, so thank goodness Kyla's here to put the alert out. Goodness gracious. What's up, Ryder? Welcome on in. Discord speculation channel spoiled an emoji that pretty much confirms the species on the new map. What? I missed this. Tell all. I want to know. What's up, bro? Hopefully they had open land too. Yeah, so in the last couple of days, really since last Tuesday, when Beard did his stream upside down for a little bit, and that kind of got everybody going like, that has to mean Australia, basically. We've been talking about the different potential things that could happen, and I would love to see some combination of Bushrangers Run and Piccabean Bay from Classic. If somehow that were doable, that'd be amazing. We're just doing Lynx drives out here, if anybody was curious what we're actually planning on doing today. We gotta get 87 more mythical piebald Lynx. That got dropped really funny. Bottom Boy, thanks for the 32 months. Welcome back. Emoji hints. I wish I had seen that. I didn't even go in the official Discord today. I should have, but I did not. The emoji was the word salty on it. That should pretty much sum up what it is. I like that your name, maybe not intentionally, but your name fits the other half. So they made an emoji and put it. I actually don't understand how that has been spoiled, but if that's the case, saltwater crocs? Could that be a thing? You would expect it almost. Man. Was it that it was two Christmases ago, I think. Kyla has the... Oh! Yeah, it's not just the word salty, it's the... There appears to be a croc in the image. That's interesting. So like 2 Christmas Eves ago, because I typically do on Christmas Eve like a wish list for Call of the Wild in the coming year, I mentioned, because alligators had just come out, that I would love to see crocs. Now, I was thinking in a Africa setting, but heck, I'd take Australia. Please, for the love of God, let them have different mechanics than gators. Hopefully, the gator mechanics aren't great. I would like to think they should be a little bit different, but it depends on the makeup of the map, really. Don't know if I said this in your last stream, but I got a diamond jackal a couple days ago. Nice, man. Virhunga keeps fruiting good trophies. I'll tell you, Virhunga is one of those maps. Like we had with our lion recently. If you stay there long enough, if you hunt hard enough, there's something out there. There just always is. And Revontuli's much like that. So hopefully we get something good today. What's up, Ormy? Did you get a turkey this year? Not yet. I had quite the dream last night about turkey hunting. I didn't get one in the dream either, but the first day I hunted this year, I should have got one. I just... lack of preparation and everything screwed up. But then, my dream last night was there were multiple big males roosting like right by the house. So it was going to be the easiest hunt of my life, except it wasn't real. That was unfortunate. Being an Australian myself, I'm glad it's Australia. So maybe do you hunt as well? Because I've been trying to figure out like what the species should be. So to attempt to recap what we've talked about in the stream so far, a couple of classic species that I think would make sense: kangaroo, rooster deer, sandbar deer, water buffalo, which we have, but we'll name everything. Feral goats I think would likely be there. Pigs of some kind, maybe? We were talking about the potential for a great one, like boar? I'm missing... What was that deer again? Somebody on yesterday's stream told me. There was another type of deer. And then probably crocs based on that emoji they posted. Are there must be other things that I'm missing, but I'm curious, as someone who lives there, what you'd like to see. Oh, axis deer too, sorry. Would be feral pigs, not wild boar? Right, but the thing that we were discussing on one of the streams anyway was, why not do a great one pig, and just do it for all the species? Do boar, do feral hog, who cares? Like, just name it all the different species, and maybe you could do slight alterations for the different, potential fabled furs and stuff, but that puts a great one on, like, 7 maps or something? I think that'd be a great idea. Lemurs? I don't want to hunt lemurs. Are there Sika deer? That's a good question. Would red deer be there? There are red deer in Australia. We talked about that too. Because I didn't think there were. Somebody on stream told me there were. I think the same went for something else too. Fallow deer. I didn't think there were fallow in Australia, and somebody was explaining that there were, in fact, and I looked it up. There are. The Crap Brothers would like a word? Maybe they know. You can't even hunt lemurs? Like in real life? That's probably good. I don't want... Nobody should shoot a lemur. Unless it's a very aggressive lemur. How do I say your name? Torliv? Am I close? I hope I'm kind of close. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Love your videos. Thank you, man. Appreciate that and the support. If you would like, feel free to correct me on how to pronounce your name. I can try to do better. I think that's a bright female capercaillie, which look kind of nice. There are red deer, fallow deer, sandbar, and axis in Australia. I think that's all. Was it hog deer? Somebody was telling me about something else, which I don't even know what it is, but it was another type of deer. I think it was hog deer. Because we were talking about cheetah, but those are axis deer. It must have been hog deer then. How about emu? That'd be fun. Imagine like 9 legendary emu running around. Give them the speed. What's a fast animal in Call of the Wild? Like, lions when they're really sprinting, give them that speed, and then they do the capercaillie attack, jump up and kick you, slash you with those big claws. The hog deer thing, I think that was it. Indian hog deer, is that what it is? Is it from somewhere else, like initially? Sandbar deer, I think we talked about. Puma, there's not puma there. Is there? They have, some kind of big cat, I think, and they have a billion feral cats. That, I don't think people would like that, but if there were feral cats on the map, it would be accurate. They should add banteng. Speaking from the Hunter Classic, that is a species that, I can't believe I missed that, on Piccabean Bay. That'd be a good one, because they're, if you just look at them, not knowing anything about them, they look like a feral cow. Maybe that's actually where it came from initially. But they're incredibly, like, muscular. They're really, really just, like, cool-looking animals. And this is speaking strictly from Classic, which I assume is accurate, because Classic tends to be. Lots of fur types from that. Was a big one. 400? Not bad. But Classic has, like, an orange, a brown, like a dark brown. I think they call it dark. I want to say there's, like, a black fur, but I might be thinking of melanistic. They were over-spawning in Classic for a while. And maybe almost a cream-colored one. That might be a rare. Anyway, there's lots of potential there. So is Australia 100% confirmed? I wouldn't say 100%, but it's hard to imagine anything else. So in case you missed it, there is on the social media pages for the Hunter Call of the Wild an image along with text, which was posted upside down, that said, searching for the next hunting destination. The upside down text along with that image, it basically has to be Australia. There's nothing else that makes any sense. Which is funny they would hint that directly, but you can't. Like, it'd be one thing if they were hinting at another North America map to throw us off, is what I'm saying. Just so we're clear, I don't want another North America map, at least not yet. But if they were hinting at something intentionally misleading us, if they pick something that people are tired of, and then we're like, ha, gotcha, it's actually this, I think people will be pleasantly surprised. You can't hit at Australia and then pull the tablecloth out and it's somewhere else. Everybody wants Australia in this community, so it must be. It's the only thing that makes any sense. An African Congo map. So, is there any upside-down significance there that would make any sense? Because that Australia is the only place I know that's, like, associated with that whole thing. I will die if there's a mission about finding the long-lost thylacine? Is that correct? Is that a dinosaur thing? If there's a new weapon with a reserve, what do you hope it is? That's a great question. What do we need? And what would make sense on a map like that? Depending, because what we see in that image, which I'll bring it up again, just so we're thorough, what we see there is more so like Australian rainforest, probably thick vegetation and stuff. I'm hoping that it's not only that, but just basing off that for now. Some kind of like... We have a 45-70. If we didn't, that would be the perfect caliber for there. What would you want for... I don't know. All these potential deer species that could be there. Because we've named now, it feels like 6 or 7 potential deer species. What's like a good deer rifle that isn't already in the game? Is there a... So apparently the 303 in New Zealand is like a really popular hunting caliber. Is there one in Australia that's not already in the game? Because like you could argue the North America really popular hunting caliber is the 30-06, but we have that in the game. Maybe there's a significant one to the area. Ooh, there's... Yeah, I like it. 7mm mod 8. Just give me my, my real-life caliber. I can, in Call of the Wild, die happy. I don't know. Fall off a cliff and die to a caper Kaylee, whatever. 350 Legend? Would that be potentially, like, overpowered for deer? Thinking in Call of the Wild terms, I feel like they'd make that a class 6. 25-06. I could live with that. What pack's that 22 from? That is from the Weapon Pack 1 DLC. What's a hog deer? I actually don't know. I was stupid and didn't even look it up. Here, let's look it up. I can't put it on screen because Google Images are potentially dog deer. Yeah. Hog deer. Potentially still copyrighted. You know what it looks like? A kind of stumpy Stika deer is how I would describe it. Like lower to the ground. What I'm seeing in these images, and feel free to Google image search along with me. I wish I could throw it on screen, but I'm not trying to get copyright struck by 40 different images at the same time. So there's some that are spotted, there's some that are like brown, much like Stika deer that we see in Call of the Wild. But very like stocky kind of build. They'd be interesting. They look like musk deer with small seek antlers. I think they're stockier than musk deer. To be fair, I don't know much about real musk deer. I'm even going off Call of the Wild musk deer. I just looked it up, so they are a possibility. I mean, this is just according to what I've been told. I should have done more research prior to this stream, but I was recording tomorrow's video up until like 30 minutes before this. But I've been told they're in Australia anyway. 22-250 might be kind of small. You know what? It would be a small deer caliber. I'd agree with that. But we do need more stuff in that range. So we have like the 22 Viren and the AR-22, and we got the 22 handgun, like a bunch of 22 calibers. And we have the 22H. I would love a 17 HMR. 22-250 is in that range as well. I think that could be fun. There's not a lot of stuff in that range in the game. Like, that just gives you more versatility. Maybe a 17 HMR for magpie geese. See, I forgot about those too. Because those are on Picabeen Bay. Is it? Well, probably not, but I was going to say, is that a thing? Do people just snipe them? But is it? No, it's New Zealand. It was New Zealand that, it may have been... Might have been Steve Ranella, but I'm thinking it was Remy Warren just blasted a goose with like a 7mm because you just can. Sorry, but I just joined. Is the new map going to be Australia? So, the Hunter Call of the Wild posted a thing today on their social media pages featuring this image right here with this is significant, upside down text that said, searching for the next hunting destination. Certainly appears to me that we are headed to Australia. It's only going to be a matter of time. We were talking earlier, I just don't think there's anything else that it points to. It was Ronell that shot a goose? Okay. Will the drop bear make it into the game? Is that a koala? Are those hunted? I'm in school, but wanted to see what was happening. We are just basically talking all things possible with a potential Australia map right now. EW seems to be very, what's the word? They're not trying to hide it. They're being very clear, obvious with their hints. And I mean, the upside down text, Beard doing his gameplay upside down last week, certainly feels like Australia's on its way. Kangaroo's gotta be in there. In my personal opinion, if they do an Australia map and don't have kangaroos, they would be met with such a riot from the community. And I think they know that. So I would certainly expect, you would think they would do it. What level do you have? Like my character level, 60. That is the max. Always looking for thick hazel grouse tracks. Or if you're as cool as Mel, rare hazel grouse tracks. Really want crocodiles? Well, I don't know if you were in here when we were talking about it, but apparently they kind of like leaked or spoiled or something a emote in the official Discord, which certainly appears to be a crocodile with the words salty under it, which just kind of helps to filter out maybe that's a new alligator emote. If the setting is Outback, razorbacks would be a hard target to hunt? Razorbacks. I don't know if I know what that is. No one is as cool as Mel. We can only hope to attain such coolness one day. Probably already answered it, but what animal would you want most for Australia? That's a good one. Feeling as though there's a couple of musts, like kangaroo, like I just mentioned. Given that emote that they posted, hard to imagine they wouldn't do crocs, so I'll leave that out because it seems like it's expected. What do I feel like has to be on Australia other than those? It's the Hunter Classic bias for sure, but it's hard for me to imagine an Australia map without either Rusa or sandbar deer. I don't think I need both. Would love to have both, but I just look at those deer species. They're really, really cool. But sandbar are massive too. They're like bigger than elk. I think that'd be a good one. Didgeridoos expected? Is that a euphemism? Dingoes. I didn't think of that. They wouldn't have to go terribly, like AI stuff, they wouldn't have to go terribly far from what's already in the game. Coyotes, foxes, jackal. That could work. That's an Australia thing, right? Because I remember we've talked about, you know, a potential Aussie map, or sorry, a potential Africa map for Africa 2.0 for forever. And I think I mentioned dingoes one time, and I want to say that I was corrected in that they live in Australia. Falconry? They keep putting that in the surveys, so you never know. But that feels like a mechanic that'd be really hard to master. How sure are you that it's actually an Australia map? I'll give you my spiel again on why I'm quite sure. But if you haven't seen this image, that was posted on the social medias with Hunter Call the Wild today, stating that, well, in a caption, upside down text, which really hints at it, searching for the next hunting destination. So there's that. There's the fact that JaxyBeard last week on stream started and ended the stream with the gameplay upside down. All these upside down things plus that particular image certainly appear to point to Australia. And what I was saying earlier was, it'd be one thing to lead us astray towards something that people don't want. So let's say, for instance, they were intentionally misleading us and hinting at a North America map. To then do a 180 and deliver something else, I think people would be pleasantly surprised. To hint at Australia and then pull a 180 and release some other map, you would get nothing but people upset. I mean, Australia's been one of the most requested maps in this game for probably 5 years. So it's just, I can't imagine they would hint so directly at Australia and do anything else. It has to be. It could actually be like 3 other places though? What fits with the upside down theme? Australia is the only place I know with the whole like upside down land kind of thing. Think we spotted this flock? Hunting Australia and ended up with another North America map? That's what I'm saying. I just don't think that would be wise on their part. Think of all the possible snake hunting. Is that like a thing? Like with, I know people, I don't know what the particular instruments are called, but people like hunt snakes with like the little pull thing in the bags. But does anybody hunt snakes with like a gun? Australia's hunting laws are weird? Is that so? Rage quit Flinter if that happens? What, if they had a North America map? Maybe it's Pennsylvania. Maybe they put a great one on it and it's my big male. And I'm the only one that can get it. Has there ever been as many clues like this for a map in the past? I don't know if there's ever been any that are so direct. So we've had in-game clues before, which they haven't done in a while. We've had boxing gloves, and not just any boxing gloves, but ones that, if you looked, were the exact ones worn in the Rocky movies by Rocky Balboa. So a lot of people thought that was going to be Australia, like kangaroos boxing, but most caught on that it was going to be the Rocky Mountains. That was a fairly direct hint. There's another one I was thinking of. Wasn't there... There was something in like the Leighton Lodges in the curtains. I can't remember what that was. There was a painting one time in the Hirschfelden shooting range that looked like a bunch of antlers. That was a Truax hint. That was relatively obvious, but I don't think in the moment. This is up there for some of the most like direct hinting they've done. The gator growl on SRP? Yeah, I don't know how direct that was though, because that didn't necessarily point to a location as much. It definitely pointed to a species. There should be venomous snakes that can cause damage like cactus on Rancho. I can live with that.
You smell like pudding.
Thank you. What if there was, like really expensive anti-venom you had to buy? Let's, what the heck. We'll keep going. We'll check all these lakes up in the mountains. See if there's any big bean geese, then we'll go south. That drink bottle was in Leighton? Drink bottle. What was that pointing towards? 243 is not a good gun? I would disagree, at least in the game, if that's what you mean. What would you think about a Great One alligator? I would think they would be really annoying to grind for. Likely in the category of Great One black bear as far as how special and how, like, respected they are. Like, what I'm getting at is, anybody that shoots a Great One black bear, everyone sees that and is like, okay, you worked for that. That must have been a challenge. I think the alligator would get the exact same treatment. The gourd hinted towards Rancho? I'd vaguely remember that. I can't remember where it was or what it looked like, but I remember that being a thing. Still haven't figured out the Twitch alerts. I haven't a clue why they play on YouTube. It's a source, like it's a browser source, but that source isn't in this scene, so it shouldn't play, but it does. Hope to see magpie geese and bantang. Those are two of the, I would say, like most distinct ones in the Hunter Classic. It seems like this is not necessarily a fact anymore. But go back like 4 or 5 years. If you asked the developers who would be on the Expansive World streams, I'd say more frequently than they are these days. People would ask all the time, like, hey, are they ever going to add non-typicals? Are they ever going to add even true racks before they were added? And a very common answer was everything that's in the Hunter Classic is eventually going to make its way into Call of the Wild. However true or untrue that may still be, those things, those two species are in Classic, so maybe it happens. Maybe they come into Call of the Wild. Are they just making the base game animals great ones? At least for the moment, Jaxy has said they intend to do that for at least some time longer, so for now, that's what we would expect. So that was the other conversation we had, because basically, Beard was semi, led into a trap of letting on that there is a great one on the map. Now, we talked about this. I don't know that he said there's a new great one on the map. He said something like, basically people were asking, is there a great one? Is there a great one? Is there a great one? And he wasn't answering. But somebody said, what is the new great one? And he said, I know what it is or something. Or maybe they said, what is the great one on the map? I don't know what the wording was, so I don't know. Basically what I'm saying is, it's possible that there's red deer on it. Because, as we discussed before, as potential deer species on an Australia map, red deer could certainly be there. That's a big level 4. Let's make sure there's no 5s in here, because I think they're just going to circle them in it. Gonna try to hit that. Wherever you went. That's kind of far, but we'll try. Nice. Okay, anyway. If it's not red deer, if it is in fact the new great one, and I believe it was Soup, maybe Bottom Boy, one of you two, basically said that the way that they've leaned into great ones so far, it would be tough to imagine them releasing a map and not adding a great one on. So, let's assume that they do a new great one. As far as base game species that would also be a likely species for an Australia map, I think we're left with red fox, maybe a bird species of some kind that I'm overlooking, fallow deer, and feral hogs. Fallow seems up EW's alley. We did get an antlered great one last, though. People have been asking for a Hogzilla-like great one for a very long time. That would actually be kind of fun to grind, I think. I both want it to be fallow and don't want it to be, knowing that they're probably not going to have the same level of special as probably even the Great One Moose, just because of what they're like on Tay. I do wonder, but maybe they have a solution. Who knows? Australian wood duck would be cool. I don't know if I know what those look like. Okay. Where'd that goose go? I'm sure we didn't hit him well, but shouldn't have gone that terribly far. What's up, Wolverine? Thank you for the 18 months. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. I appreciate it. Are we going to have to send Sir 12 on the track? Because it's looking like that would be the case. You're an Africa map supporter? I am as well. I really feel, based on how popular Virunga Savannah is, it would make sense, but according to what Beard said recently, it doesn't seem that that's something they plan to do soon. Little off topic, but what are your thoughts on a weapon class tweak and more big bore rifles like 375 and 416, and then make 7mm and 300, class 8, etc.? I wouldn't lower the classes of the already in-game weapons because that would just probably upset people, but I would like more of those bigger calibers. I think that'd be very cool. Did that blood disappear already? Well, that's good. Now we get to try to find it. That's where we last spotted it. It's got to be out this way. That's a rock. I'm going to call you Troll because I definitely can't pronounce that, but thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate the support. Australia has 140 species of sea snakes and 32... Wait. Maybe land snakes and 32 of sea? Either way. Reasons I probably won't visit Australia, but I definitely would like to hunt there in a video game. That sounds terrifying. It's so many snakes. Shot my first legendary Iberian wolf and it rated 38.8. That is wolf hunting in Call of the Wild, unfortunately. They troll a lot. Since Wait the Hunter's next map will be Africa, is that confirmed anywhere? And I really thought Call of the Wild would drop their map first. Looks like I was wrong. Maybe it'll be the map in December. Maybe. 3+, I mean, that's a good one. One of our bigger ones ever, actually. 32 sea stakes, 140 on land. I think I ended up getting there, right? Think I picked up what you were putting down. Maybe they'll shock us. All an Aussie map will introduce spearfishing. And the great one is a megalodon. That would be something. I actually am all for the idea of a great one that isn't tied to any species in game. I don't know what the best... Maybe doll sheep? That's not a... I can't imagine a super majestic doll sheep. It's hard to go further than what you would expect in, like, the horns of a diamond, but... What's something... Coos deer? That's not a great one either. Wrong way to phrase that. Not a perfect great one. I'm trying to think of, like, a potential majestic species that's not already in the game. That could just be, like, a random chance. Because I think that could actually be very cool. Is Australia confirmed? Nothing has been confirmed by EW, but they've been very strongly hinting at it, if you didn't see. On social media today, they posted this image, along with the caption, which was written in upside-down text, searching for the next hunting destination. That certainly hints quite strongly towards Australia. If you look at that image, which I just made go away, but that's fine, it looks like, to me, Pickabeen Bay, which is an Australian reserve in the Hunter Classic, and factor in the upside-down text, the fact that last Tuesday on stream, JaxyBeard both started and ended the stream with upside-down gameplay. Hard to go anywhere but Australia with everything they've said. Looks like Pickabeen, 100%. I think like one random great one for certain species with a small chance of appearing would actually be pretty cool. Like an already in-game species, or where I was going with like something that's not in the game. What gun would you want added in next? We're discussing different options. I don't hate the idea of like a 2250, what did I just say? 22-250 or a 17 HMR. 7mm mod 8 would be very cool. That's what I hunt with in real life, so I'd love for that to work its way into the game one day. I think those are the main weapons we cycled through in the chat. Do you know why Hirsch is the only map that appears in both Call of the Wild and Classic? Unless I'm missing something. No, but I mean, it does kind of make sense. Hirsch being the Hunter Call of the Wild. So, if you don't know, Hirschfelden was supposed to be the only map on release. I don't remember if this was like information I was told or if this is public information. And when I say information I was told, I mean by like friends of mine that didn't work for EW or anything, but seemed to have knowledge from somewhere. I don't know. But from what I understand, Leighton Lakes was supposed to be the first DLC map. So, if they wanted to do Hirschfelden, and then giving kind of a, you know, homage to the original game and its Hirschfelden map, it kind of makes sense that's the one that is in both games. Tyler, thank you for the super chat. Great one, Jackalope is needed. Could be any of the rabbit species, but it's a 1 in 12 million chance. Red Feather is Leighton? Kinda. Is there any of the... So, like on Yukon, there's a reserve called Loggers Point, which is obviously a classic map. I'm trying to think of any other direct, like, references. I think there is one more. What's up, Caden? Really hope this new Australia map has kangaroos, dingoes, and saltwater crocs. The crocs seem like there may have been a leak in the official Discord or like an accidental thing. Maybe it was intentional, I don't know. But they posted an emote, which, if it was just the image, you could argue that it's an alligator. But the biggest thing is, it then says salty underneath it, so hard to not think saltwater crocs. Alright, let's start working our way south. Want to get into Grey Lag territory too. Hoping to stumble into some geese or other cool stuff. We'll get down there for raccoon dog eventually too. Timber Gold Lodge on Yukon? That's right, there were 2 on that map. Gotta grind deer and rabbit for jackalope to spawn. You have to get the right combo. You have to have a diamond of each spawn in the same region on the map, and then they intertwine and become a great one. What's up, Alex? A big hunter from South Africa, best hunting in the world by far, especially waterfowl. See, I wouldn't have known the waterfowl thing. Must definitely come try. Maybe someday I'll make it down there. I had no idea. Is waterfowl hunting down there like as big a thing? Because I think everybody thinks of the big game. Any updates on the way the Hunter Genetics vid? The plan is to do it this week still. Probably. So here's my guess on what's going to happen this week. I think there's a pretty good chance that there's more information coming out on Tuesday's live stream. I want to say Beard even said, like, this is one you don't want to miss, but he said that enough times that I could be confusing streams. Either way, I'm expecting to do some kind of video tomorrow talking about whatever is said on stream. Just based on the fact that they've been hinting so strongly, it seems like it's about that time where they're going to reveal something. Maybe we get to see something, or even if it's just confirmed, who knows. That said, even if that doesn't happen, I do have a video for the regular release time. It's actually a hunt here on Revontuli Coast, and it may or may not feature like 3 really cool things. Outside of that, Wednesday's video is going to be a real-life hunt. That's going to be the one that dropped on the Meat Hunters channel Friday. If you can't wait to see it, it's like a half-hour-long 3-state hunt. And then, I think Thursday is going to be the most likely slot to do that Way the Hunter video. So that's what I'm hoping to do it. Shock everyone with Pakistan, and so I don't know the first word, but Argali are those huge sheep, right? They're the biggest sheep species in the world. I don't know if I said it right. I'd be all for it. I think they are really cool looking. They're similar to Marco Polo sheep, which I really want. Filling a teaser trailer? You know what? That's probably it right at the end of the stream. That feels like an EW thing to do. There you go, Chris. That's better than anything I came up with. Greater Kudu is a one-off great one. You could even... I'd rather them not do it this way, because I think the idea of it just being a completely random chance is better. Because it incentivizes hunting and decentivizes grinding, which... Grinding's fine, there's a huge community around it. I'm not saying they should remove grinding from the game. But it allows you to have 2 different types of hunting that can both succeed. Anyway. They could even do the lesser kudu great one as a greater kudu. But, it'd be cooler if it was a completely separate thing. Have you seen Jim Shockey hunting Pakistan? Possibly. I've seen Jim Shockey hunt a lot of places. Got my great one Blackbeard today. Fabled Chestnut, 6,074 kills, 35 diamonds, and 17 rares. Nice. My numbers aren't too far off from that. I don't know how many diamonds I have. It was about 30. Not that many rares. Maybe I'll go back. When did you start? Like, how much of that did you do in the dark? Holy, he's live. Where? Where is he? Just can't find any diamonds anywhere. I only seem to spawn in golds. If you're getting a lot of golds, you're on the right track. You just got to keep it up and, you know, hope to get maybe a little bit luckier. If you're really just wanting to get a diamond, though, try multiplayer. Gives you an option to hunt a separate population of animals from your own. I'm not even going the direction I meant to be. We're supposed to go south. So there's that aspect. And it also allows you to be able to hunt, like, the same location with multiple animals. So what I mean by that is, if you join 3 different multiplayer servers and check, say, this lake every time, it's going to be different animals every time. So there's a little bit of, what might you call it, monotony-breaking experiences there. I feel like Great One Blackbeard tends to be a 5 to 10k grind. It seems that way. It really does. Took me almost a year from last July till today. Not bad. So a good chunk of that was probably done in the dark. Good on you for keeping it up. Are you going to do a live stream or a video for the announcement trailer? If they do anything like that, whether it could be a teaser trailer, whether it could be a just verbal confirmation from Beard, whatever could potentially happen tomorrow, I intend to do a video on it. Probably not a stream, just because I have to get the later in the day video ready, regardless of if anything is actually announced on EW stream. So probably just a vid tomorrow. We'll see though, you never know. If it's like, if there is a teaser trailer and it's just, you know, knock everyone's socks off kind of thing, then I'd probably do it. Do a stream and chat about it. No fives. There's got to be one on this map. I really feel like the more that we just hunt this map and randomly kill cool stuff, I feel like we should randomly be able to find diamond geese somewhere on the map. What are the question marks on Wave Hunter? They're just, they could be a bunch of things. They could be hunting stands, they could be points of interest, they could be collectibles, they could be... Can the outposts or cabins, whatever they call them, can those be question marks? I think. No, those are marked. Never mind. Campsites is what I'm thinking. I say they just tell us tomorrow. I'm trying to think. See, this is the thing. They've done so many maps over the years, and I still don't know exactly how they tend to do it. I tend to think a lot of times they're just kind of like, hey, here's a stream. Stuff's happening. Oh, hey, we're dropping a trailer right now. I feel like that's what they would do. Non-tips confirmed? There you go. What if that's the upside down reference? The image wouldn't make sense, but like drop tines kind of vibe. I wouldn't be that upset. What is the next step in player customization for this game? Guns is cool, but character models does seem like the next step. It would make more sense if they added trophy shots to do player customization, otherwise there's not a lot of point to it. They're doing it in the Angler, they're doing more customization and stuff. It has always surprised me though that you can't do more with it, because I think everybody likes to customize their character, but you actually never see your own character. Only people in multiplayer do, which is enough. You know, a lot of people want to be able to impress other players with whatever cool gear they're wearing that they've earned through thousands of hours, whatever it might be. But yeah, maybe even just clothing for now. That would be less intensive than models and all the third-person, first-person stuff that's involved in that, since they'd have to have it for multiplayer too. I just want Throwback Thursdays again. I don't know when I'm going to start it. I do want to start picking up some old games again. But instead of doing a full series on it, because frankly, like, by the end, most people aren't really watching, which kind of sucks. What I'm going to do instead is a full, probably like 45 minute to an hour video. Not a full playthrough, some stuff will be cut out, but basically hit all the high points and do an entire playthrough of the game in one video. Trophy shots is a must, and then character customization will take off. So if they don't do that, what's next? Customization-wise or in general? I mean, you could do other items. So you could have skins for your binoculars. Medkits wouldn't be worth it. Scopes? Maybe some of those sorts of things to be able to make your gun customization flow a little bit better through the scope or whatever site you're using. A shedding fallow deer great one? Wait, shedding? How so? Shedding its antlers? I hear... shedding velvet. That might make more sense. Found my favorite albino last night. Wildebeest, very nice. Customization wise, but sure, run with that question. Tell us all the flizdom you have. I have very, very few amounts of flizdom and a lot of hopes. But, what would be... I mean, outside of just adding content, right? Weapon packs, maps. I would probably... I'd probably look to add... maybe another dog. See, the thing about the, what are they called? Bloodhounds. Is blood trailing in this game is not difficult. In Classic, it can actually be pretty tough. Like, I've genuinely had tracks that I just can't find in Classic. The difference between that and Call of the Wild, because it does happen in Call of the Wild that you can't find tracks too. When it happens in Call of the Wild, it's typically due to like invisible track bugs and stuff like that. That doesn't tend to happen in Classic, it's just that the track's in a tough spot. So, it's just hard to get as much utility as you'd like out of them. I think a Retriever or maybe even a Pointer could have more utility. So maybe that's where I would go. I'm trying to think of what else you could do as a major thing in the game. They've overhauled waterfowl hunting. To me, I was actually shocked that with Revontuli we didn't get Retrievers anyway. It seemed like a natural step that just never happened. Going bear hunting in Montana next month in celebration of graduating high school. Dude, that's awesome. Like a spring, even spring-ish summer bear hunt over bait. What's the plan there? I want trophy manager filter so it's easier to go through and delete stuff. Oh my goodness, yes. It's so convoluted in there. I'm thinking too, so I'll even talk about this. This is actually something that might be fun to dissect a little bit. I'm going to talk about it in tomorrow's video. But basically, assuming these hints are correct and assuming we are in fact headed to Australia and Call of the Wild sometime in the next month, month and a half, whenever that may occur, I think the likelihood of enough new species being added that we don't have room to display one diamond of everything in the Saseka Safari Lodge is pretty high, which then means we're going to want a second lodge. We have the Spring Creek Manor Lodge that we've been working on for forever. So that just means we'd be mounting more stuff and having even more convoluted trophy managers. And even too, there's going to be all these things that I'm going to have to go back and find, because I promise, I've got all kinds of diamonds that can replace the less cool stuff in the second lodge. That just, like, maybe I'll take a screenshot of it for a thumbnail and don't replace it. Like, I promise we can make that lodge look way, way better than it is. If that's actually the case, it depends on what gets added, what potential poses there are. Like, for instance, I don't like doing predator species. I don't like the mounts on the wall. The ones I'll do are... I don't mind the gators, so if they were to do crocs on the wall, I think I'd be okay with that. If you guys are correct with the dingoes thing, that would have to be a full body mount for me. I don't know that we have the space for that. Those types of things is where I'm not sure about. I'd like to keep going with the same lodge, but eventually we're going to run out of space. We just are. I would love to have an amphibious vehicle added to the game. Even if it's just like an inflatable raft. To get across certain places, that'd be a big, big deal. Got a Diamond Eurasian Widgeon the other day. Nice, dude. I've been trying to do exactly that for Hunger Multiplayer, get a Diamond Widgeon. Was it a 3 or a big 2? So of course I'd love to see a Swedish map, but since it's close to Revontuli, which is a neighboring country, maybe they could focus on introducing some dog breeds. I think it would, for the most part, be welcomed with open arms by the community if they do it correctly. You know, not rushed out buggy stuff, like proper hunting dogs. I'm not saying the bloodhounds are rushed out. They were certainly buggy. I don't think they were rushed. I'm relatively happy with the bloodhounds as are, but just other potential breeds for other things. Zach, you thank you for the 53 months, by the way. Welcome back. Imagine you have to spam mash a button to blow the raft up. You should definitely have to do that. That'd be great. Is there any max level animals that cannot troll? A level 5 female gemsbuck will never troll. A level 5 wildebeest will never troll. Turkeys used to be that, but they can now. I bet there's more that I'm missing. As Truax have been added, that's opened up the possibility for more trolls. So it's generally going to be non-Truax species. It might actually be just those couple. Got a 4.63 Capercaillie. Was that a level 2 or a 3? I know Pro XTK just shot a troll Capercaillie recently, which a lot of people kind of thought wasn't possible. I don't know if I had ever seen one before. I can't remember. I guess we'll shoot that since nothing's happening. Level 5 reindeer never troll? Is that right? I didn't know that. Are you hunting? Yes. What's up, Ario? Thoughts on the next great one? In my opinion, will be Euro Bison, because they randomly added a second multi-mount for them last update for no reason, which I think gives it away. So if we go back, see, I've been thinking maybe on the, well, this is my fault for not looking at the live stream. So what happened, I'm going to have to explain this and then come back to it. What happened on an Expansive Worlds live stream, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, was JaxyBeard was semi-tricked into saying that he knew what the next great one was, or knew what the great one on the new map was. The problem is, I don't know which, and it's possible if all that he said was he knows what the great one on the new map is, it's possible it's an already existing great one. If it is in fact a new great one that's on that new map, it can't be Euro Bison because those aren't in Australia. But I don't know what Beard said, so I can't rule it out. If we go back to Revontuli, it came out, we weren't told what the next great one was going to be, everybody thought it was on Revontuli, and it was Black Bears. They've done it before where they drop a new map and do a great one that's not on that map, so maybe, but if it's going to be Australia, which I only say this with doubt because you never know until it's confirmed, but I think a lot of people would be really upset if it's not Australia based on the clues they're putting out. There's a lot of potential for base game species to be there. What I miss about your thoughts on the new map? I mean, probably a lot of different things, but generally speaking, I feel pretty confident where they're hinting now is going to be Australia. And just based on this small slice of terrain foliage that we get, I get major Pickabeen Bay from the Hunter Classic vibes, which if I had to pick between the two classic maps, that would be the one I prefer. I still hope it's actually somehow got like both biomes from Bushrangers Running Classic and Pickabeen Bay, but if it's got to be one or the other, that's the one. I heard a black grouse. I like stems. Their rares are very nice. One in Australia since SRP? Yeah, I think, because that was the one, right? That was when the boxing glove hint dropped, and I wouldn't say it was a 50-50 split. I'd say it was like 70-30, 75-25. Most people saw that as being a Rocky reference, because, I mean, they were the exact boxing gloves from the movie Rocky, or one of the Rockies. Rocky 1, Rocky 2, I don't know. But then there was another fairly significant subset of the community that thought it was a kangaroo boxing reference. So a lot of people have been mourning Australia since then. Hopefully, Soup. We're not even an hour in. I'm trying to get down south and get to where we can smoke some of them stupid things. Maybe get that done. I am about tired of them, frankly. Just, it's hard to, not that I dislike them, but it's hard to, with any non-antlered animal. Like, when you see a level 7, it looks like every other one. So, there's no like, oh, that's a big one feeling. You spot it and say, oh, that's a nice raccoon dog. But you don't have the same thing as, say, if it's a whitetail or a moose. Like with moose, grinding for a great one, every now and then, if one's standing just right, like you get a big moose, maybe that's standing behind some brush or that's just hidden the right way, you can get like a little heart attack like, oh, is that a great one? I had that somewhere in the fog. Oh, no, it was on, I know exactly what zone it was at on Layton. It was like foggy and it was standing in the brush and it looked like it was the ashen fur type. So the tough thing about raccoon dogs or any predator species, bird species that you're grinding, there's never a like anticipation just from seeing it. All you get is spotting it and seeing what the level says. If Beard was overusing the word bounce in one of the last streams, I'd assume kangaroos. That would make me think they have a biome for them. Was Beard overusing the word bounce? If so, I missed that. This is what I get. Normally, during those streams I'm recording. So like, Kyla's a mod in there, she's generally sitting there, and if something happens, she'll let me know. But I typically don't catch like every word and stuff. Just so happens, when their streams were earlier in the day, I could catch them, but their current schedule happens to line up perfectly or imperfectly with my recording schedule. That's true, Joe. I can see it. Water buffalo, right? Is that where you're going with that? that, thank you for becoming a Shusty, by the way. That should pop up. Pretty sure it should work, but if it doesn't, before your name goes off the screen there, thank you so much. There it is. Good deal. Thank you for becoming a Shusty. I appreciate it. If you're not in the Discord, be sure to join that. Link up your YouTube, get the member role, take advantage of all that good stuff, and enjoy the emojis and the green name here in chat. I like the McCaffrey profile picture, by the way. Nice hip shot. Why, thank you. It was very difficult at that range to hit it. Is saltwater crocodile confirmed? I wish I could easily show you the thing. So, in the official Hunter Call of the Wild Discord, or I should say the official The Hunter Discord, because it's actually both the Hunter Classic and Call of the Wild, but anyway, a new emote has appeared, which looks to be a crocodile with the word salty underneath it. Now, if the word wasn't there, you could just be like, oh look, a new alligator emote. Alligator and salty doesn't make any sense being together, so I think, I wouldn't say confirmed, but there's something to it. I would never say confirmed until EW confirms it, because, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think Ned Bella makes their emotes. You would think that would be requested by somebody, but at the same time, maybe she did just feel like making a salty emote with an alligator on it. I mean, if Caper Kaylee go aggressive kangaroo, definitely should. True, if they did actually, I hadn't thought of that until just now. If they did go with that realism factor of the Caper Kaylee, Rue should, I agree. Not gonna lie, I wanted another Africa map because I was hoping on elephants. Wanted to shoot an elephant if it ever comes out. The game Ultimate Hunting, you've maybe heard of it. They announced it like 2 years ago, and we still don't have a gameplay trailer or anything, so I wouldn't hold my breath for any time soon. It was supposed to come out last year, and now it's supposed to come out this year. We do be moving towards the halfway point in this year, and we're still waiting. But, all that said, elephants and such are supposed to be in that game. That's no alligator. The snout is way too narrow. I mean, it's a vector art, so I wouldn't put too much stock in the dimensions of anything. I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying it's not an image, so who knows? Art is art. We need to see who added that emote? Yeah, I don't think there's any way to do that unless you're a mod, right? Which I think Kyla is, but we're also not going to make her reveal information that is probably not to be made public. Your stream borked my phone? That's what you get for having a bad phone. I don't know. Emotes must have the highest level of accuracy? Does that mean I should make my Feels 180 emote shorter? Where do you think the best Great Wolf drinking zone is to hunt them from in Yukon Valley? Boy, probably Wolf's Head Lake. The one that in the northwest, never believed this, but it looks like a wolf's head. Named aptly. But, I don't do much wolf hunting these days, especially in drink zones. So I'm probably not the best to answer that. Where's that other one at? Heard a bean goose there, too. Probably them. The thing is, you can just never tell what flocks you've spotted and what flocks you have not. That's an ochre fur type. I think that's like an uncommon. Power's gonna go off. Sounds good, dude. Appreciate you hanging out today. We'll catch you hopefully in the next stream, maybe with more information by then. We shall see. I guess Australia's alright. I get to shoot a kangaroo. You would think, right? Feels like an obvious species to add. Did I miss anything? Have you seen the image that was posted on social media by Hunter Call of the Wild today? If you've seen that, we've basically just talked about that about 40 different times. Which is good, by the way. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. And just speculated for like an hour straight. It's been fun. It's cool to get to do it with you guys. I don't like to do like speculation videos. I don't like to, unless something's pretty clear, I don't like to just sit there and make a video where for no reason I just say, hey, maybe it's going to be Greenland. I talk about it in streams all the time, but it's a different deal when your thumbnail and everything is pure speculation. But anyway, in a stream setting when things do feel fairly hinted at strongly, it's quite fun. If there are kangaroos, I'll spend a full day getting my revenge. Wait, revenge on what? Now I'm kind of interested. Just randomly shot an aggro capercaillie on Revontuli. It was a diamond. There you go. Not bad. But it is pretty clear, but you never know. That's the thing. It's just hard to... Until something is definitively said, it's hard to just jump right into that. Because if for some reason it's something else, you don't want to put all your excitement eggs in one basket for fear of being completely let down. You know what I thought about doing, by the way? I thought about grinding for a Great One Moose in the process of shooting all these raccoon dogs and stuff. But the problem is they take so long to go down, all the extra tracking and stuff I think would only slow us down. Can't wait to see Sandbar and Rusa. Those would be two cool ones. If they end up adding either or both. Just based on my enjoyment of hunting those species in Classic, I'd be pretty hyped about that. You've laid excitement eggs already? I couldn't help it, you know. Where did that bear... You can't possibly... There you are. No. There he is. No. What the heck's going on here? Why is there so many bears over there? Oh well. I feel like Australia would be the perfect map to introduce snakes. If they're gonna do snake hunting, probably. What do you think about Great One Fox? I think that it would probably be in the black bear category as far as like probably not as easy to herd manage, probably therefore less of them would then be killed and posted in the community and all that good stuff. But some really cool potential. Really cool potential for like furs and, you know, different stuff they could do with them. I think you can make some really cool looking fox. Hope they had Bantang. That's another Picabine Bay species that I think are very cool in Classic and probably would be even better in Call of the Wild just based on new graphics, fur textures, all the things. There are some species that I think are actually better in Classic. Whitetail, probably mule deer. Mule deer, I like the more non-typical side. Or just like the stickers and stuff that you see in a lot of the diamond mule deer racks, but still. Most things in Call of the Wild, species that are in both games, do look better in Call of the Wild. How many species are you expecting? That's a good question. So the last two maps had a bunch. I don't remember the total number of species on New England, and most are copy-paste old species. Revontuli had 19 and I think 13 new. I don't think they would do that many again. A typical map... So Quattro had 10, and Quattro was the most for a long time. Since then, it's in that 10 to 12 area for most maps, so that's probably where I'd go. Expectations somewhere in that general vicinity. I'm surprised we haven't seen another level 3 of one of these guys. We shoot them all the time. 15 species on New England, only one new one. And I guess one semi-new one with the bobcats. That's kind of a mean thing. Same as like mountain lions and pumas. Same exact thing. You can even put them in the same multi-mounts. I just look at them as separate species because then I get to spend more time hunting something I don't have in my own head. Then Flinter proceeds to shoot a Great One Fox faster than he did a diamond. Based on that grind, I would hope. Though they drink in the daylight a little bit now. And from what I hear, they're not bad to hunt on New England, so maybe I could find a way to make it less terrible. The last two have had above 10, but all small game. The last bunch have had above 10, I think. What was before? So it was New England, Revontuli. What was the summer map the year they did Mississippi? Was it Rancho? That doesn't sound right, but I guess it would have been, huh? Rancho had a good number of species, I think. Trying to count them in my head and failing. That's a big one. Good size too. Don't think I've seen this flock then. No threes. Alright, what are the odds we can hit that? 200 meters away? Probably negative. Worth a try, you never know. Looks like he'll be living. It was Rancho, okay. What was the new species in New England? The green-winged teal. Fallow and feral goats are likely to come, and I hope they rework their Truax/horns. For a second there, I thought you meant you mean rework both. I've on stream here and there, just like in talking to different people, I've seen a lot of like, you know, the fallow deer could be better type stuff. They definitely could be. They're pretty good as video game fallow deer go. I would, if you look at Way the Hunter, I would say their fallow deer antlers are better. So that'd be one place to maybe look for inspiration, though you don't want to just outwardly copy another game. Yeah, feral goats never have been that great, horns-wise. Maybe they can make them better. Rancho has 10 if I recall correctly, because they added the pronghorn. Oh, so it only had 9 when it came out? It seemed like it was just... I guess it was because it was so packed full in some areas. It seemed like it was just crawling with stuff all the time. What's up, Sander? Just bought the 300, but I don't know what to buy next. What gun do you think is the best to... like, save for? Is that what you mean by spare for now? If you bought the 300, you're pretty much in good shape to buy whatever you want. Maybe you could start earning some handgun score to get like the 454. Although you may have that 5-year 454 Sundberg already, in which case you maybe don't need that. Boy, I mean, yeah, like once you have the 300, you're set to go. Like, you're good. What's your favorite animal to grind for? I mean, the whitetail great one was a special grind for a lot of reasons. Grinding wasn't really done at the time. It produced 2 super rares, which it's so funny to think of it now. Like, it was 1,600 kills. It must have been, I think, the Piebald Diamond and the Great One were a week apart. I can't remember where in that 45-day period the albino whitetail diamond came from. Maybe around kill 1,000. But, like I said, nobody was grinding then, really. So... it wasn't like a, oh my goodness, 2 super rares and 1,600 kills. It was like, man, that was a lot of kills. No wonder we got these cool things. Now, I mean, people do 10,000 kill grinds without a super rare easily. It was just insane. I don't know if I have a better favorite than that. I wouldn't say I do. Feel a diamond in the next 12 minutes? You've been right on a couple of them, and I think they're usually Revontuli, to be honest. It wouldn't shock me. Thoughts on Great One mule or fallow? Mule deer would be my preference, so I guess I'll go with that. What I've always said about them is I don't think you would need to exaggerate a thing, because if you look at the whitetail Great Ones, especially the big rack, I mean, that's basically a farm deer. No deer in the wild really gets like that. You look at even the biggest whitetail ever from the wild, like the Missouri Monarch, or Missouri Mystery. I think it's Missouri Monarch is what they call it. But it wasn't a hunter harvested, it was a deadhead. The hole in the hornbuck, also a deadhead. And then you've got a couple of 300 plus inch harvested whitetails. None of them look anything like the big rack Great One whitetail. That's more like what you see in a deer farm. The rest are kind of within the realm of possibility. But, you know, exaggerate a little bit. I don't think mule deer would need to be exaggerated one bit. Look at the world record on typical mule deer. And typicals. I mean, they're nuts. They're huge. I think literally they could just look at them for inspiration. No need to exaggerate. Throw them into the game and people would love them. The community event around the Great One whitetail was fun. In the, what did they call that? They used to do all the Trailblazer beta? There was a classic membership that I think was called Trail Runner, so I always get them confused, but they used to do, it was like a public thing. It was PC only, unfortunately, because of the difficulty in doing like a weekend early access on consoles. But that one was fun. Everybody kind of knew there was something to look for, but nobody knew what. Was the General a farm deer? No, I don't think. The lore of that, I want to say that was sheds, though. Maybe I'm wrong. That one's not hunter harvested either. I'm not even sure that was a deadhead. If I remember right, either way, what it was, somebody found it, and the antlers were just like in an attic or something, or a garage, or a barn, for years and years and years, and then an antler collector eventually came along and got them. I despise goose. I was maybe around level 15 to 20 when I started Canadian goose grinding for a diamond, so I could start the Goliath v Giant mount. Got to level 60 and 100k richer by the time I finally got one. Geese now are way tougher to grind for. They used to be generally enjoyable, not very difficult. Things have changed in the world of geese hunting. The General was sheds, and that's why B and C didn't take it? That makes sense. I mean, you would expect, because it was 218 is the score of the General, I think. You would expect that it probably never scored higher than that. It may have been bigger than that. And by bigger, I mean, like, maybe it had more mass, maybe it was, you know, some taller tines. But the likelihood that it ever scored that high with any other rack it maybe had is not very high, considering it's the record. But, to find out his sheds is instant. Like, imagine you find that. Bottom Boy has posed this question to me several times. If I didn't pull my trail camera card the day I did when I shot my 180, that was 3 days before the season ended. So, say I pulled my card the day after the season to be like, let's see, you know, what's maybe made it through, and then saw that. The stress of the summer and the next fall and stuff of like trying to find him, hoping he hadn't been hit by a car. Every single time you hear a shot when you're hunting, you think, oh, there, it's dead, somebody got him. It would have been so stressful. Like, finding those sheds on your land, it'd be like almost scary. Just shot a melanistic male turkey. Nice, man. I've never had one of them. I've had a melanistic hen before. Most of the big boys are deadheads, and you know what that speaks to? Just how smart and just their sixth sense to stay out of harm's way. When they get to that size, like, you hear the saying they don't get that big by being stupid. The fact that, like, all the biggest deer ever have been recovered deadheads really tells you how much, like, smarter those class deer are than your typical is the wrong phrase, than your regular, even, you know, Boone and Crockett type bucks. Anything good yet? Nothing in terms of what we've shot here on Revontuli. We've had quite a lot of shooting, just no big males as of yet. Lots of cool stuff we've talked about with the potential Australia map, though. Lots of species speculation, what we want to see the most, what we think could maybe be there, hopes of, like, different biomes that we might see, just all the stuff. What's a deadhead? Just when somebody recovers a deer that died, whether it was like shot and not found by whoever shot it, typically a deer that died of natural causes though. Referred to as a deadhead because I think someone maybe finds the entire skeleton of the deer, including the skull and the antlers, and then just takes the skull and the antlers home, therefore it's a dead head. I would assume that's why it's called that. I actually don't know the lore of it. What? Did you see the post by the Hunter Call the Wild with a SpongeBob gift from someone saying Florida Everglades? No. You say that, but all the current records were Hunter Harvest? But it's not. The General, well, okay. If you're saying the General wasn't taken by Boone and Crockett because it was sheds. I think that's fair. Because then that does make the Hanson buck, I think, the biggest typical ever. The biggest non-typicals ever, though. Like, the Missouri Monarch is bigger than... what's that guy's name? Tennessee guy. Shot a big banana drop tide buck. I believe the Missouri Monarch outscores that one. Deadhead means something different in my work? Oh, God. You a mortician? The General wasn't counted as a record? I mean, unless they're fabricated antlers, though. That buck existed and was never shot by a hunter, right? It's hard to... I don't know what else it would be. Banana Drop Time was my nickname in high school? Is that right? Here comes old Banana Drop. Watch out. Brewster buck? I think that's the one. What did that score? It was 320 or so, I think. Let me look that up. Brewster buck score. Oh, spelled it wrong. 327. Yeah, the Missouri Monarch is 334, if I'm not mistaken. The Hole in the Horn was 326, so I think that would beat the Hole in the Horn buck by one. Tennessee buck was the previous world record? What's the current? Well, actually, I'll just look that up. Non-typical whitetail record. This says the Brewster buck was 337, but that's 333? What is this one? That's the Missouri Monarch. I thought it was 334. Brewster's record for, like, a hunter harvested, though. Brewster bucks from Illinois? Illinois? Boy, I swear that was Tennessee. Is he from Tennessee, then? Crazy thing to think about is back then there's a decent chance the buck could have been shot and just never scored. Maybe. That's definitely possible. But you're saying shot when he obviously had a different rack then. Tucker buck was from Tennessee. Wait. The Brewster one's the one I was thinking of. Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, I'm just confusing two deer. I was thinking of the one that was shot in Illinois, the Brewster buck, but the Tucker buck is the Tennessee one. You're definitely right. I like how everyone uses the excuse that Eurobison are in games so they can add anything. Wait, what? Are Eurobison protected or something? I hear a bird. I think that bird will escape. Let's go straight down to here and take the boat across. Ever hear about the king buck? Is that the one that would be the typical world record if the B&C score panel would accept the common base tine? I do believe. Johnny King. Eurobison are endangered if not critically. Oh. I mean, they did Polar Bear in Classic, too. It's just a tough hill to climb from their end. The Dryden buck? I like how this went from Australia talk to the biggest males ever, but I kind of like it. Dryden buck. I think... No, I'm thinking of the Cop buck. How do you spell it? Is it K-O-P-P? It's got more not typical tines, but they remind me of each other with that crazy mass. It's the weirdest thing you've ever seen / found out in the woods. That's a good question. So we have a male raccoon dog, which we need to find wherever he went. Craziest thing I've seen or found. One of the cooler things I found was... So, on my dad's property, they used to do some mining out there. And I found one of the mule horseshoes that I still have to this day. That's pretty neat. But in the crazy sense, as far as like, what are the odds of that? if I have a great example. The best thing I can think of, just off the top of my head, this past hunting season, I don't know if I'll put it in the video because probably some people aren't going to want to see it, but I do have film of it. There was a fawn. I could just tell something didn't look right, like its ears looked messed up. And what I eventually ended up determining was that it was missing like some of the fur and skin on one of its ears, and I think missing a chunk of its other ear. Its tail was gone, and there was a little bit of blood like where the tail should have been. And I'm just thinking, like, what happened to this thing? It had to have gotten into a tango with a coyote. And it was standing there, and I was thinking, like, do I shoot this thing? Is it gonna make it? I didn't. If I was confident that it was just suffering, I probably would have just shot it. But the longer I looked at it, it was getting along okay. I thought that I looked and saw that it was missing a piece of its jaw. And for a moment there, I grabbed the gun, got ready to shoot it. And I looked really close in the scope because I just felt like the thing had been through enough. I didn't need to end up shooting it if that was incorrect. And its jaw was fine. It was just the way that it was standing. That might be the craziest thing I've seen. A fawn that had been really roughed up. And I saw a coyote down there in the same spot. End of October, I think? I mean, that thing was like 50 pounds. It was a beast. So I'm guessing that was the coyote that did it. I love how EW always has a reason behind why you can or cannot hunt elusive animals. The Hirschfelden questline said that they have had conservation efforts for your bison and now need some calling. You know, I've played Hirschfelden and done all the missions. I didn't... you know what? I kind of remember that. There was a whole, like a 10 mission questline. I think I do remember that. Mitch on Polo Buck, how do you feel about it? Yeah, so that one's always fascinated me. For years and years I wanted it to be real. I just don't think it is. Because it would make... There's too many... So there's the whole thing of like... And actually, maybe the person is here in chat again. We talked about this months ago, and there was somebody in the chat that apparently knew him. So the thing that I have a hard time wrapping my head around is apparently, like, you know, it's... People say it's no surprise that he didn't want to get the buck scored. He's a very private individual. Doesn't, you know, he doesn't want the fame and fortune and stuff. But he was a scorer on the panel for the commemorative bucks in Michigan. Like, he did that stuff. He had the ability to enter records into the books. He has a bunch of other bucks in the books. It just doesn't add up that one... he wouldn't let the official necessary things happen, x-ray of the skull and stuff, to prove that it was real. I wish their own polo buck was real, but it's hard to believe. There's just too much there to... What's the standard for the justice system? Reasonable doubt? There's far too much reasonable doubt there. How do you fake it? From what other taxidermists say, that basically they would be able to, like good taxidermists, will be able to take those, if they're real antlers, and attach them in such a way to increase the spread credit to push it over the record number. I think that buck was either 216 or 218, so it was only a couple inches bigger than the Hansen buck, which is 213. If the spread was the only thing that was altered, and if you look at it like its ears are drooping, a lot of people surmise that the skull plate is broken and then the antlers are attached to make the spread wider. But a really good taxidermist can fake antler too. And the thing is, nobody can just go and look at it and really scrutinize it because, according to Mitch, it burned up in a fire. Is the Australia map confirmed? Not, confirmed by word from EW, but this image was posted on their social media today with the caption in upside down text, searching for the next hunting destination. So, hard to look at that and not see an Australian rainforest, especially coupled with the upside down text. It's an okay size one. I thought I just heard it. Maybe not. My thing is he had a bunch of smaller bucks that were wide like that. So you can take that two different ways. There's all these data points and stuff with that buck. So one thing is, this is Traverse County, Michigan, is where this occurred. According to people that understand antler growth and all that, the sandiness of the soil or something really doesn't benefit wide antler growth. That's just not a thing you tend to see there. And he has 4 or 5 bucks in the record books that are wider than basically any other deer ever shot in Michigan. There's a whole thing. It's like either 400,000 or 4 million bucks that are in that record book, and like 7 of them or something have a spread over 26 inches, and Mitch has 4. So it's kind of like, okay, that's unlikely. But if he's hunting this one honey hole and he's got the genetics and all these deer are from the same line, you could maybe see that making sense. But I think it's more likely that he's faked several things than it is that there's a bunch of bucks with the most insane spread you've ever seen in one spot. Those were some not intelligent raccoon dogs. Imagine killing a 200-inch deer and still not being satisfied, right? Got a friend who does taxidermy. They can definitely fake antler. Someone gave her a really broken elk rack. She recreated like 40% of it, and you'd never know. The best taxidermists absolutely can do that, yeah. Now, you got to be careful with it. If you handle it, that stuff a lot of times isn't as sturdy and can break. But if it's just sitting there on the wall, you can't tell. If it sounds too good to be true, then it most likely is. What's the Occam's razor or whatever? That's not the exact thing. It's the simplest explanation is often the correct one. Which animals do you think will be an Australia map? Alright. So, I can't imagine they would do an Australia map and not add kangaroos. That would feel like a crime, basically. So let's throw kangaroos in there. It seems they've intentionally or otherwise kind of revealed via a new emote in the official Discord, Saltwater Crocs. There's an emote if you're in there. I actually don't know what channel it was posted in, but it's what appears to be a crocodile with the word salty under it. So that kind of rules out it's a new alligator emote. So those two. Axis deer seem likely enough. If I wanted to try to pick some other new species, though, let's not go with things that are already in the game anyway. Because then you start going down like axis deer, red deer, fallow deer, hogs of some kind. Other new stuff, I think Rusa and Sambar, those are in the Hunter Classic on their Australia maps. That would be cool to see. Boy. Dingoes is a good one somebody suggested. I'd like to see that. Somebody said emus too. I wouldn't hate the idea of there being emus. I kind of think that'd be fun. Maybe not the first thing I think of hunting out there. But I wouldn't hate it. I guess we just smoked that tree? I don't know. Camels? Are they in Australia? Is there a rifle for feral hogs in Classic that holds more than one round at a time? The best option is probably the 4570 Government. That's got the power and the capacity. The 340 is not bad, but it's got a max capacity of 3. Trying to think through. I mean, there's some others that are not as powerful. The 6.5 Panther is ethical, but definitely weak for the hogs. Would honestly prefer emu over kangaroo, really. I said feral cats would be a thing. Camels are invasive in Australia. Okay. See, that could be somebody was talking about the quest line with the Euro bison on Hirsch. That'd be a way to, you know, throw something in that maybe most people don't expect. Put the information out there, the education, that they're invasive and that they need to be hunted there. Why not? Feral cats too. Definitely water buffalo. Yeah, I tried to name species that weren't already in the game, but water buffalo feels, especially if it's going to be a rainforest like that, that feels likely. I'll say it again, I'm going to claim way more about an unenjoyable map than I would complain about an inaccurate animal population. Yes, I'm 100% with you. That's why I've said, like, you know, throw Sitka Blacktail on Yukon. No, it's not the right area for them, but it's close. Put, you can't because there's whitetail there, but put Coos deer on Rancho. Stuff like that. Maybe that's not a perfect fit. Yeah, it's close enough. Complain? I don't know why, but I somehow read that and didn't realize that I said it, I guess. There's a bunch of them. Just gonna go. Oh my lord, what is going on? Make sure there's no 9s in here. Okay, all is well. Dude just screamed parkour and climbed that rock. Where'd the other ones go? Oh, there they are. Get reloaded. What is going on here? I just saw like a rabbit and a lynx go too. There's another one out there. I wish I had like a AR or something right now. Would be appropriate. Slow down. Oh my god, they're still coming. What are you? Small. Other ones? Went where? Dude, this is stupid. Where are they coming from? Where are those other ones at? Oh, I saw something. Hello? Okay, that one's stuck there. Or not. We're missing two. I don't know where they went. I think I see one. Could be the lynx. No, that's a rabbit. That's the lynx. There's that. I think 2 females got away. We just killed like 5 or 6. Who let the dogs out? No kidding, man. What on earth? They just all... I guess I kind of missed where I was trying to go. I wanted to go down that peninsula, but instead they were all running to the peninsula. I've had the opposite. I've had them come running from out of there. That was weird. Rapid respawn? I don't know what it was. They just kept appearing there and running past. There was a level 6. That would have been a gold if we didn't shoot it with a 7mm. Got 2 here. Level 3 male. Level 2 female. I think we did kill 5. Clips, that would probably be a good clip right about now. When do you usually go live? The stream schedule is there. Nightbot posted that via Bottom Boy. Appreciate that. So there's 4 and 5. That would be a level 3 female and level 4 male. Did we kill 6? Yes, we did. Level 5 male over there. That was absurd. You guys got any level 5s with you? Speaking of level 5 males. Ooh, there's a big 4. Okay. Can we hit that? Wow, what a great first shot. I am capable of doing this. Maybe not. The amount of geese I've shot lately, I should be more than capable of hitting that. Okay. Just wait till it gets further away. Easy. Where's that picture from? What, this? That is from their Twitter is where I got it. If you could have a new weapon or caliber introduced, what would it be? We were talking earlier about different options. Didn't I kill level 5 male too? I thought I did. Anywho, we were talking about different things to maybe see added with the new map. A couple of suggestions I really liked. 22-250, 17 HMR I feel like this game's been missing for a long time. And then 7mm mod 8 is what I use in real life for deer hunting, and it would just be fun to have it in game. One of my favorite things to do, usually the first day of rifle season here in Pennsylvania, I'll do a whitetail hunt in Classic, and I'll use the caliber that I use in real life, because for years, this is even going back before Call the Wild existed, I didn't wear the ooh, that wasn't English. I hunted with a 30-30, and there was one in game, so I was able to do that. I moved to using a 7mm mod 8, there's one in Classic, so I'm able to keep doing that. It's a lot of fun. That goose folded like a dish rag? Yeah, when I finally hit it. Nobody saw the first 10 shots, right? 100... Wait. A huge 148 kilo male meese? Are we missing a number there? What gun am I using for the geese? That was the 22 Virant. That comes from the Weapon Pack 1 DLC. Close. 3.85, 3.66 is what we got. One day. Alright, let's still go down that peninsula. There might be more. That was a raccoon dog that called too, and I didn't pay attention to where it was. New 338 ammo would be nice. you know, that wouldn't be a terrible idea because it gives the opportunity for them to make the 338 bolt better than the 300 and therefore make the Hunter Power Pack more valuable. Cassowary? So, somebody was saying earlier they're potentially endangered or something, but maybe they can still make it work. I think they should do another Smoke and Barrels pack? In what sense? Like, say, like a similar name but 3 new weapons? What shotgun do you suggest for Rev Upland Birds? I like the 16 gauge, that bead sight. I just find that like my target acquisition is really clean with it. I don't have a hard time like getting on target. I can just quickly aim shoot, potentially kill 5 ptarmigan in 1 flock or whatever it may be. The only thing is, the 12 gauge pump has a 1 higher ammo capacity. The 12 gauge pump holds 6 rounds, so you get that additional shot. The sights are about as good, and it's going to be personal preference anyway, but I really do quite like the 16 gauge. I'll probably miss this now, but I just find that I'm able to really quickly, like, find where I want to go, not think about it, shoot, and it hits where I'm trying to get. Did you know Ranella can't stand the 7mm? Why is that? What about Banteng cattle? So that's a species that already exists in the Hunter Classic, and is one I would like to see. That's not as big a floor, considering how poorly the last one went. Let's just chase that raccoon dog. How many diamonds do you have? I don't know. It's actually, it might be 1,000. Oh, what diamond was number 1,000? Did we kill a diamond today? If we didn't, I know what it was. We haven't killed a diamond yet today, have we? Oh, big male. I'm trying to think of the things I have recorded lately. Oh, I know what it was. I can't tell you. It's in a video. It's too much buck? What does that mean? What is max weight Lynx? 45 kilo. Funny enough, their max score for some reason is 28.98. It used to be 29 flat. I guess it no longer is. Do you think cassowary birds will be in the new map? If Expansive Worlds is willing to do something like they've done with Eurobison, maybe put a narrative around it because they're potentially endangered or protected, I think that could be really cool. Potential clue in Discord, is it the emote or is there something else? If there's another rare and Weight the Hunter, what should it be? I think albino Rocky Mountain elk would be a home run. Just got a PC for my birthday and I'm already playing Classic? Nice! What you thinking so far? The salty sticker? Yes. I just don't think it could be anything else. Like, if it were just the image, I could be like, okay, new little alligator emote, cool. Put the word salty with it. You can't tell me that's not a saltwater croc. I won't believe you if you do tell me that. Too much shoulder for him? Wait, so you killed Diamond 1000 and didn't get to make a big deal about it? So I shot Diamond 1000, it was today, it's going to be in tomorrow's video, and I didn't even know it. I don't know whether or not to go back and be, like, make a part in that video like, hey, guess what I just realized? I might. But anyway, so I actually, at the very end of the most recent Meat Hunters video, which will be out on this channel on Wednesday if you are just wanting to wait, but if you want to see it, it's on the Meat Hunters channel now. I watched, so I have a GoPro angle of me taking a shot with the 7mm Mod 8. I shot a doe about 60 yards away. Small spoilers, but it's going to be in the thumbnail, so not that big a spoiler. The recoil from that shot is actually pretty significant. I've never shot that gun and felt like there was any recoil. I mean, Kyla uses it, doesn't bother her to shoot it, but I mean, it pushes me back, the tree shakes. It's not a small tree. It's a significant kick, but not one that's ever bothered me, or anybody else that shot it for that matter. And these aren't like, they're not light load. They're loaded pretty hot. Just put it up. Call the Wild. What map should I run? Revontuli Coast. Why not? It's got the good things. Jokes on you. It's a saltwater gator. Saltwater sunfish. Always hoping we're gonna see level 3. This is more in another flock. Resting, I mean, that's kind of good. Don't see level 3 anywhere. Definitely not going to try to kill those out of the air. Was golfing last week and completely forgot about that vid? No worries, man. It was, I'll tell you though, so that was the Tennessee trip, which had every possible real life thing not been going on for you, you would have been joining us on. Some of the stuff that went on there was pretty wild. Already said what map, get on my level. I'm sorry that I'm not as cool. I'll try. Think we can koala hunt? I don't think they're hunted. It's also, so like to me there's a difference between something like, let's just go like big 5 species, which by the way are still hunted. There's some misconceptions out there, but I think there's a lot of people to be like, you know, hunting elephants in a game isn't good because you shouldn't hunt them in real life, which again, there's misconceptions about the whole thing, but they're one of the biggest, they probably are the biggest thing you can hunt in real life. Most people will never get the chance to do it. So in a game is a perfect setting. I don't know that anybody is just out there like, boy, if I could shoot a koala. Maybe there are, I don't know. I don't think it's as popular a destination type hunt. Dingoes? Yeah, somebody mentioned that earlier. I like that idea. Could be a good, I don't want to say coyote reskin, but take coyote AI for the most part. Do some new models, new textures. Bob's your uncle, whatever they say. Dee Dee's your uncle? That's what we should say around here. You think Wade the Hunter needs turkey? So the thing about that would be, I think that's a solo goose? No, it's not. Never mind. The thing about that would be, Wade the Hunter doesn't necessarily incentivize you to use the right caliber outside of like the star rating of your hunt. Like your animal star rating isn't affected anyway. So unless you care about that screenshot that shows like animal rating and hunt rating, you can shoot. Like I literally just, I think yesterday I shot a 5-star duck on Aurora Shores with the 30-06. Like I don't care. If I get to keep the animal in my trophy lodge, I'll shoot it with whatever. Most of the allure of turkeys, they do look cool. But most of the allure of turkeys, I think, is the back and forth, calling them in, gobbling on their way in. And because you'd just be able to blast them with a 338 Lapua if you want, I don't think they'd be as appreciated as they should be. Plus, most of the small game hunting and even the calling, like the calling mechanics in the game, aren't that great yet. Do you think we could get any snakes? Maybe. I mean, the area definitely is known for them. Spiders as well. Does Australia have roe deer? I don't think so. I can imagine them being something that were like brought there as a non-native species, but at the same time, there's so many big snakes and stuff out there. Roe deer aren't that big. They might get dead out there in the wild just from all the predation that could occur. Tasmanian tigers, just to be that guy? Is that different than Tasmanian devil? Probably. Hello. I apologize for bullying you. Here, I'll post a cute bird picture. Is it a turkey? Found a mega mule deer in Wade the Hunter after watching your albino buck video? Mega mule deer? What's a mega mule deer? Beard said it's not a reserve. Yeah, so we were trying to discuss what that meant, I think in yesterday's stream. So by the way, if you missed yesterday's stream, normally I stream Farming Sim on Sundays, but my Farming Sim server wouldn't work, so we ended up streaming Moose Grinding on Layton. And we talked about it. he said, like, I think he said it's a map, not a reserve or something. I don't know that it has any significance at all as far as the actual play, but the idea kind of being that it's not like a game preserve or anything like that. I think that's all that he's saying, but I don't get why that's relevant. Roe deer, the only deer the Europeans didn't haul around the world. Well, there you go. Mela. Oh, that makes more sense. I thought maybe that was like a 5-star Mela is what you meant by mega. I don't know. Tasmanian tigers are extinct. That'd be hard to get them on the map, but then again, it do be a game. Could it be an expansion to Te Awaroa? I still don't think... Because he still said it's a map. I don't know. How rare is a Mela diamond turkey? I would say fairly rare. Back in the day, rare turkeys and diamond turkeys were way common. Diamond turkeys are still pretty common, but Mela turkeys certainly are rare now. Extinct animals map? I wouldn't mind it. Give us some saber-tooths and... I can't think of it. What's the bears? The 10-foot bear, short-faced bears, I think. What's up, Andrew? How rare is an Eclipse Goldeneye Diamond? I believe quite rare. All the waterfowl rares on Revontuli Coast, like all the new ducks, geese, upland birds, which aren't waterfowl, but still, any of those rares are legit rares. Sloth bear? Maybe that too? I think short-faced bear is the one I meant, though. I could be wrong. Woolly rhinos would be a cool extinct animals map. That would be kind of neat to hunt. Dromedars? I don't know if I know what that is. Got the game the other day. I'm enjoying so far. Nice, man. Good time to get into it with the new map on the horizon. We should be finding out very soon what, in fact, they are. Dire wolves, by the way. I saw somebody said, like, dire something. I don't know what that is, but dire wolves would be a neat one. Short-faced bear, okay. Short-faced bears were the huge dudes. I'm thinking I only know that from... What was that show? Monster... It was Discovery or something. Monster Quest? Irish elk, there you go. Throw them on that map. Australia needs to be a lot of small and medium-sized game map like Revontuli. Need another good map like that? Revontuli, I think, is a huge hit. I don't know that they want to do 2 a year apart, but maybe. Monster Quest slap, it was great. The recreations sometimes kind of sucked, but the show was really good. The ideal situation would be that since it's not a reserve, it's just a map that you have to use your brain and there are animals off limits to shoot. What if there's not like a bunch of outposts and stuff? Could that make sense? That actually makes a lot of sense to me. I don't think people would like that. But that sort of has I think a chance to be what's going on there if it's not a reserve. Because then why would there be all kinds of spawn points? It's not like a hunting property. Another cool thing would be Entelodon. I think I know that from Jurassic World Alive or something. You get tents and that's it. And you'd still be able to, with tents, you'd still be able to give yourself 16 spawn locations, but it'd be interesting if everybody was... You know what that would do? That would really decentivize grinding, because what you would probably do is not place a bunch of tents necessarily at all the lakes you want, but place tents evenly across the map to be able to get to certain locations efficiently. It'd be interesting. I don't hate the idea of something unique like that. I shall remain optimistic like a goose sitting in a puddle in a parking lot. Laying a golden egg. Did you hear we're getting Crocs? Well, I have heard there's an emote that certainly makes it seem that way. Wonder if it means population changes each time. Maybe, though I'm not sure if that would necessarily make the most sense. I would like it. At this point. Let's get the thicken. Ah, it felt like that should have hit. Am I hitting branches? There was that other one that called. I really wanted to get him here and then go find it. Can someone confirm if every single other map is such and such reserved? I don't think, because, well, Mississippi Acres Preserve, National Park is Medved, Layton Lake District. I don't think they are. National Park is Tauaroa too. What's the easiest way to get all the drink zones on a map? I'm trying to get a moose on Medved, but they don't seem to be at the lakes. Probably, so one issue with moose is that they get to their zones very late. Their drink zone is from noon to about 1600. Many moose don't show up till 14 or 1500. Maybe try going at that time. As far as getting zones and stuff, you can do it two different ways. You can just run around and spot things in the distance, which is obviously not going to work as well if you can't see the moose at their lakes. The other would be just run around the shores. You can even do this with a four-wheeler. Go around all the shores. Every time you see a zone track, stop, pick it up, jump back on your four-wheeler, or go back to running and call it good. Do you hunt in real life? I do. I've got probably about 50 real-life hunting videos on this channel. Who will win the Super Bowl? There's a good question. If I were to bet right now, it's fairly unlikely it's the Chiefs, as good as they are, just because... When was the last time a team went back-to-back? Wasn't it the Patriots in 2004? Been about 20 years. Statistics say it's probably going to be somebody else. What about... Eagles seems like an easy choice. I'm trying to think AFC. I actually don't think it's going to be the Bills. I feel like they have some refiguring to do. I don't want to say it, but maybe the Bengals. Go with that. Dolphins? If Tua can stay healthy, I don't know if it was true, but I heard somewhere they were making him a special helmet with, like, airbags. Is that real? Not legit airbags. Boo to the Eagles, I know. I also don't. There's PA rivalry, right? As a Steeler fan, I don't want them to win it either, but I feel like they're a decent choice. Ravens all the way. Oh boy, now we really got it. Steelers and Ravens. I'll be intrigued with their offense this year. I think if Lamar doesn't turn into a legit capable pocket passer with what he's going to have around him this year, they probably aren't going to win it all with him. Maybe 2 years. It might take him some time to get used to it. Giants fan? They're interesting with Daniel Jones being their quarterback now. Imagine if the new weapon's a big Bowie knife. What was the game? One of the Dangerous Hunts games. You could carry a knife, and if wolves attacked, you could like slash them in the nose and stuff. A knife in this game would be interesting. Washington? Don't sleep on them. We'll see what this Sam Howell situation is, but I think with Big Dan out of the picture, they might be primed to do some good stuff. Are you grinding anything specifically? Semi-grinding raccoon dog, just kind of running around hoping to find a big one. Burb. Lamar needs to win one in the next 2 seasons, in my opinion, or he's overpaid even more. He's 20, he's like my age. I think he's 25 or 26. I'm trying to figure the likely window, because he got a new contract, not an extension. So for instance, Jalen Hurts got a huge bag. His, like, the cap number doesn't get insane for a couple of years yet, and they'll keep on restructuring and kicking the can further and further down the road. But I feel like they've got maybe a 2 or 3 year window, and then just they're gonna lose pieces. Probably not Andrews, but they're not gonna be able to keep the firepower they currently have at receiver, and also Lamar, and also a good line. Me trying to fit in with not knowing anything about football teams, it's all good. We got all kinds of different conversations. We were talking about record bucks earlier. I'm sure we'll randomly talk about like what we had for breakfast today. If we have time anyway, there's only 5 minutes left in the stream. Have we shot anything today? Like trophy log wise? I don't think so. Throwing knife would be dope. Red Dead vibes, just smoke some big males. I don't even know where I'm going. I keep turning around. Tim Wells themed, hide in trees, throw spears. Just don't fall out of the tree and have the spear get you in the leg. That would not be good. I should have. that would have been awkward. So I met him at the ATA show. I should have been like, dude, show me your spear scar. I don't think that would have been a great idea. Thoughts on monkeys? I think they're very smart and good at opening jars. Ignore that diamond and 12 comment I made an hour ago. That's probably the first time we've hunted Revontuli, and there's still a couple minutes, but the first time we've hunted here and not killed even like a diamond cape or Kaylee in a long time. What did you have for breakfast? Same thing I have pretty much every day. A bowl of oatmeal. You know what I can't wait for? In like a month and a half, something like that, raspberries and stuff are going to start to be ready. I love like fresh raspberries in my oatmeal. I did for a while after they were done last year, so like we have raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries all that grow here. So it's almost October until all that stuff's done. I started just buying them from the store because I missed them in my oatmeal, but it's not as good. Own any fish tanks? We don't, actually. I think Shadow would eventually destroy such things. I gotta just now track, but which way is he going? It feels like it should be this way. What is that tripod for? Oh, that's the one here at my goose spot to sit and edit and plink a bunch of geese. A slingshot or a sling bow? I've always, with weapons that are, and I guess they've done like traditional archery, which is kind of by feel. You can aim them in these games, but it's not quite the way it works in real life. But things like a throwing spear or a slingshot, blowgun, I don't know how you really replicate the difficulty in the game. I think it'd be a real challenge to get that right. Steel cut oats? What actually? I don't even know what that means. Like, why is steel cut oats better? I think I buy steel cut, but I don't even know what's the difference. Shadow wants to go fishing. We should go fishing. We've done a little less of that this year, just because there's no trout in the creek. They don't stock it, so I really don't know what happened. I think somebody dumped a bucket of stocked rainbows from somewhere in our creek last year, and we caught a bunch of them. It was a good time. So maybe like, if I can find a gap between all the current hype that's going on with a potential new map, maybe we find out what it is this coming week. We'll see. I'd like to go for a little camp and fishing trip before a new map drops, because then it's just gonna be crazy for a while. The way raccoon dogs yeet when shot is my favorite. It is pretty satisfying. I just heard a bird. For whatever reason, when they land, even if it's on perfectly dry land, it makes a splash sound. Tank of water near your PC just sounds like a bad idea. Yeah, I mean, probably not the best. Nice, Trent. Thoughts on platypus on the new map? I think Perry should be the warden, is what I think. Hiked to see wild tool elk yesterday, then shot a surprise diamond rocky this morning. That kind of fits together, huh? Pretty cool. I don't even know where tool elk are. I remember one of the Cabela's games, they had tool elk, but I don't even know where that would have been. Someone made a PC and filled the case with water? Was it the Shark Tank guys? What, or Tanked? Not Shark Tank. Shark Tank's that pitch show. Tanked? I think they did it. Chilliwack are in California. Okay. I thought they were further south, like, I don't know why. Maybe they're in Southern California, I don't know. Anyway, unfortunately, nothing special, but that was fun, basically spending the majority of the stream, the bulk of our time, speculating about what we may or may not see, hopefully in, I don't know, even the next 24 hours or so. I'm hoping that something gets revealed on stream tomorrow, whether it's a trailer, whether it's confirmation of something, but we shall have to wait and find out. But looking forward to it, whatever it may be. We'll see where that gets us, and who knows, maybe one of these things that we are going to just keep on shooting will respawn as a big male for us. Give us a diamond raccoon dog. Boy, would it just be nice to get rid of that. Have that done. Just need geese and widgeon. We shall see. What's up, CBG? Would you do a collab with Kill Clinton? Yeah, we talked about, so I was like super sick and then getting ready to travel to Georgia. We talked about maybe doing a classic stream together. One of these days I gotta align the stars and make that happen. Saltwater Croc confirmed on the official Discord. I would say all but confirmed anyway. I would like, you know, official word, but it certainly does seem that way. Do you know why sometimes animals won't make a sound from a call? I think it's just a bug. Think Crocs just got confirmed? It sounds that way with that emote. It's really interesting. Considering, I almost thought I'd make a video on it tonight yet, but then again, my voice is dead. We'll see. Like I said, I expect, based on the amount of information suddenly coming out, I think we'll learn more on stream tomorrow. Maybe we talk about it in a video tomorrow morning / early afternoon. Anyway, on that note, I think that's going to do it for this stream, so that was fun. I enjoyed that. As always, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the support. And I will see you in tomorrow's video, coming back here to Revontuli with some pretty cool stuff. Bye!